ever had one of those days when you had to do the same thing multiple times and then you realize there's a gift in that? Well, that's me today. This is, I think, my third time trying to get the sound and everything right today. And I'm so grateful for my business partner and husband, Randy, who is amazing with technology. So let me get right to it. I'm here today to talk to you about leadership. And I'm here to talk to you about your role in creating the space for people to give it to you straight. I know it's really easy to blame external things as far as the reasons why people aren't giving it to you straight. Heck, you may think they are. I'm here to tell you they're not. There's a lot of times people don't give you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, right? As a leader, your job is to create the space for truth to be told. And I bet you think you're doing a good job. Heck, don't we all think we're doing a good job? What I can tell you out of my 20 plus years working as a leader executive in tech, as well as coaching execs across tech and running multiple day-long programs for emerging leaders as well, there's something about you as a leader that sets the tone and creates the space for truth telling. Now, before all of this with COVID and the election and all of the different things as far as what people are navigating with distance learning and such, much less the movement for diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Let's just put that on the table. People already were trying their best to get things done. And now you compound it with all of these things. And I've shared messages with you before with the data. People are worried about losing their jobs. People are worried about their own mental health and those they love and lead. People are worried about their children and what's happening with distance learning. Like, there's so much extra compounded, right? And as a leader, you're worried about profits. You're worried about stock price. You're worried about customer satisfaction and retention. Heck, you're worried about getting new customers on board. So when you look at that mix of all of the different worries people have, it's honestly no wonder people aren't telling you the truth. Your employees don't want to stress you out. They don't want to make life harder for you. And they're also just barely hanging on in many situations right now. So I'm coming to you today to let you know you have a responsibility, your job title, your role as leader of your company, of your division or organization, as well as yourself, because we are all leaders, right? We can step into that role at any time. You owe it to yourself to create the space for people to give it to you straight. And they're not just going to do it out of goodwill. It doesn't work like that. People know that there are consequences. People know that certain behaviors and certain personalities get promoted faster on your team, in your organization or your company, and they're better set up for success, right? So in the situation where you may be well-intended and thinking you have this wonderful open situation at hand with everyone working for you, I'm here to tell you that's just not true. And I can tell you from my own experience, and I can tell you with all of the executives I've been coaching the last couple of weeks, more than once, it's been like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And why didn't they tell me sooner? Some of the coaching conversations I have start off with venting, and then we work on what can you do in your situation? What do you have control over? And it always comes back to you, right? And then we figure out how can they re-engage that person or that department or that team back into more truth telling. So what I want to share with you today are a couple of tips, some personal experience around how to help your employees give it to you straight, because I know you want that, and sometimes you're not getting that. I'm Lisa Duerre. I am privileged to help leaders in tech ignite their awesomeness, get kick-ass results at work, build high-performing teams, and be present for the moments that matter. And I'm here today to talk to you about leadership and your role in creating a psychologically safe, welcoming environment to get the truth from your employees. So let me take you back 17 years for just a moment when I was a newer leader, and I, at the time, really was feeling that I wasn't getting enough of my own work appreciation language, which had to do with words of affirmation. Some people like money. Some people like quality time. Some people like words of affirmation. Some people like pats on the back, high fives, public recognition, right? Me, I'm motivated by words of affirmation. Hey, Lisa, great job on that presentation. Lisa, the transformation I've received as working with you has been phenomenal. And anywhere in between, okay? So in this story, there was about 12 people on this project team I was leading, and I was feeling that I wasn't getting enough recognition. Now, in my head as the leader, I thought I was running a team meeting, right? My intention was a team meeting. I think in my heart, though, I was looking for some pats on the back. So in the situation, I was giving a status update on where we were on all things, looking at the project plan, talking about risks, and then wrapping up the meeting saying, we're doing really great, guys. I'm so proud of the work we're doing. This is all awesome, you know? And then I said, what do you guys think? Now, it's funny because I look back at that and I really think that a lot of us think saying, what do you think? Me in particular back then is a very welcoming invitation, right? But if the environment you're leading doesn't align with that invitation, it's usually crickets or quietness or very surface feedback. Yeah, we're great. Woo, whatever. Well, in this situation, I'm so blessed and I was so grateful. There was a woman on my team who had confidence in herself, who had confidence in our relationship, that we had trust and the courage to speak up in that moment and leverage, basically take me up on my invite, which was for feedback, right? So what did she say? She said, Lisa, I agree with you on X, Y, and Z. And on points 1, 2, and 3, I think there's more risk or more issue or more something than you might be seeing. It was something like that. Again, 17 years ago. I can't tell you for sure. What I can tell you is that was a defining moment in our relationship on that project team and for me as a leader, as well as for her. And here's what happened. I got really pissed off. I didn't show it, I don't think, as much as I felt it inside. My neck got red. My heart started beating fast. And I had the wherewithal and the emotional awareness to be able to take a couple of deep breaths. Sometimes I take a drink of water when I feel triggered. And I said, thank you for that. I'm realizing now I'm not really open for feedback right now. I'd like to circle back with you and have this conversation, but right now I can tell I'm not open. Now, I don't know what happened for me at that moment, except that my head and my heart aligned, and I knew I had to respect her and welcome that, and I also knew I wasn't open. And so it was really a very uncomfortable situation. The reality of it was I was embarrassed and pissed off at the same time. So we ended the meeting, graciously as we could. We separated, and just like in every other situation, and this can even happen on Zoom, you guys. This example is applicable today as it was back then. Everybody hangs up on the call or they leave the meeting, and what happens? Texting, chatting, messages, phone calls, right? In my situation then, it was someone caught up with me as I was walking and they said, can you believe that? How disrespectful. And I looked at them and I said, I don't think that was disrespectful. I think I was more disrespectful by asking a question I wasn't open to. She answered the question. I'm so grateful she did, because now I can learn something about this, and I think it's going to set a good tone for the team. And the person was astounded that was where I was at, because I think what they wanted to do was like snuggle up against the leader and like make someone else the bad guy and like be on my side. Guess what? No, I was wrong. She wasn't wrong. Okay. What I later found out is, to her, people were going up and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so worried about you. How can I protect you? What do you need from me? How can I help you with Lisa? And she said, I trust Lisa. She asked for feedback. And that also set the tone for them. Like, we're not going to be back talking about people or each other. We're not going to have all this like us and them thing going on. Lisa and this person were aligned, even in moments of tension, right? Even in conflict. And I want to tell you, that is what changed the dynamic of that project team. That changed how I showed up as a leader. And it also gave her her own voice and her own conviction that she should stand in her own power and truth and be of service to the organization. Right? How many people get shut down when you shut them down, and then these great innovations, ideas, problem solving don't happen because it's not safe? This is happening every day. Those amazing leaders here listening to me, this is happening every day. And what I want you to know is you can change it without having to go to a training, without having to buy that next leadership book. You can change it right now by getting really clear on the right questions at the right time and holding space for it to be a little bit funky and uncomfortable, right? You have to be self-aware. You have to create that space. And then you need to figure out how to broadcast that in partnership with others, like I was so lucky to have. Okay. So think about it right now. Is there a customer tape out about to happen that you're just leaving to other people and thinking it's fine? And then when you ask, how's it going? They say, oh, we're good, just really busy. Double click. Double click. What's at risk? What do you need from me? How confident are you it's going to happen? What can this team do to support you? I know how important this is. You can give it to me straight. No blame, no judgment. I just need to know, right? What about your sales team trying to pull in their year-end numbers and ring that bell, right? Even quarter end, and they're not getting a call back from a customer. How often are they really telling you, or are they just dealing it on their own until it becomes a crisis? Because it doesn't feel safe to tell you now, because you'll either take it away or give it to someone else through another channel, or take it over yourself because you're so anxious about closing numbers. Well, guess what? You got to manage yourself first. And if they're not telling you, that's on you. You need to create the space for them to tell you, and then manage it in a way that allows them with dignity and grace and respect and support to get that job done. Here's another example. How about your HR team that is just pushing so hard, year-end compensation, performance reviews, COVID plans for returning, and you have an open rec, and your staffing team, right? They're busy, but they're also being pulled to help HR in all these other areas. But they're not telling you they're getting pulled because they don't want you to think you're not a priority. And how awesome would it be for you to say, look, I know this rec is important and there's so much going on, right? How are we doing? What's in the way? What can I do to help you? What can I do to help you help me? Like, imagine opening up that dialogue. Okay. So number one, be clear on your intention and the question you're asking. Don't do what I did and look for some sort of attaboy or support on how your greatness. You know, when you say, what do you think? Be prepared to let people tell you what they think and then welcome it. So number one, clear on intention. Number two, ask the right question. Take a couple minutes before you just do your thing and ask the right question. How many times do we just go into autopilot and you're half listening to the answers because you already think you know, but you want people to feel included? Stop it. Stop doing that. That does not make it safe for people to tell you the truth. And then number three, look back for people that have given it to you straight and go ask them, you know, how does it feel when you give me truth? What does it feel like when you have the courage to give it to me? And what ideas do you have on how I can replicate that in the organization? What do you think is in the way? Would you be willing to partner with me on it and debrief certain situations? You know, enlist people in this situational blind spot you may have when it comes to opening up to make it safe for people to tell you the truth. Because here's what I know. I know you wouldn't be in leadership unless you wanted to make an impact. I know you wouldn't be in leadership unless you really cared about the people on your team getting good results. Now, I'm not saying you care about everything about everybody, but I know you want to lead a team from A to B, and I know you want great results. You wouldn't be in leadership otherwise. It's not an easy job. And the third thing I know is the planet needs compassion and safety, and every one of us, regardless of political belief or nationality or job function or gender or ability or needs for accommodation, we all just want to feel safe. And you as a leader, it starts with you. So I want to share that with you today because I'm hearing it a lot. And I think it's time that we have real talk about real things. And one of them has to do with feeling safe to bring your voice into a conversation, for it to be heard and respected and appreciated, even if you don't agree. Even if you don't agree. Look for what's going on. Praise people for speaking up. Tell them it's appreciated. Model that. And watch what happens to your productivity, to your employee engagement and loyalty. Watch what happens to your customer retention rates, as well as new customers saying yes. Watch what happens to your sales numbers, and watch what happens to your own sense of self about being a steward for the people that you lead and having that ripple effect in the life for the people that you love. That's what leadership is today. That's the topic today. Truth telling and how to get out of your own way to help the people that you lead and love bring you the truth. Comment below. What's one thing you're going to do today to open that up for yourself? And please share this message. Who needs it today? You're all awesome. We are all doing everything we can in the midst of so much uncertainty, and slowing down for this and being intentional with this will have extracurricular. This is hilarious with my words right now. extraordinary. It will have extraordinary impact on those that you lead and those that you love. And don't we all need some of that right now? All right, everybody, take good care, comment below and share. And I can't wait to talk to you soon.